There's the ducks getting ready for bed. I added this new propane unit as a little bit of a heater for them. It works a lot better than the kerosene unit I was using before, and it's actually cheaper to run. Earlier this evening I did a Home Depot run. These are some supplies to build a new duck house. So I just finished putting the ducks up for the night, and I'm just sitting on the porch here with little Lil. She actually got fixed today, so she's a little bit groggy and a little bit out of it right now. But I wanted to make a quick video to give you an update on the ducks. So I'm shooting this on Thursday, July 26th, and this will go out on July 27th. Wanted to give you guys kind of an immediate term duck update. I know the video I put out yesterday was really kind of a bummer. It was tough. You know, last week when we lost pretty much all of the ducks, you know, it was definitely the hardest time in the farm, and it was one of those times where it was like I was filled with dread every time I'd walk up to the duck house to go check on them, because I'd be afraid I'd find another one dead or another one really, really sick that I'd have to put down. Thankfully, though, things seem to be very much on the up and up and on the mend. Knock on wood. So let's see. I lost a total of 13 ducks. There's still probably 2 ducks specifically that I've noticed in the remaining who look smaller and weaker than the rest of the flock, and I'm worried about them. They're probably still not out of the woods yet, but that said, everybody, including those 2, are looking much perkier, much healthier, and so I think I've gotten through the worst and things are on the mend. In terms of what I did to get them better, it wasn't too much different. I've started adding apple cider vinegar to their water. I added a new multivitamin into their feed mix. That's pretty much it. I think it just was a matter of some of them got sick and some of them had to fight through it, and they did. Some of them didn't. And yeah, it sucks. Received a ton of questions from you guys, and so I want to try to answer some of them really in lightning round fashion here. First question was, did I consider bringing on a vet or antibiotics or what sort of things there? I thought about it. I opted not to. I think if I could do it over again, I would have brought a vet in early on. I didn't think it made sense to bring a vet in when I was really starting to realize it was time to bring a vet in. That just was what it was. I'm still glad that I'm not having antibiotics in their feed. I still, don't think that preventative antibiotics is ever the way to go. And generally speaking, if I want to raise good, healthy food, medicating it is not usually a good solution. Another question that came in was in terms of a loss rate, like what does this look like? What's normal? And I find a lot of loss rates for like people raising chickens, and that's usually somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10%. I haven't been able to find anything about farm ducks. Wild ducks, though, as I did a little Googling, apparently they have like about a 50% survival rate to make it through their first year. So my guys are doing better than that, but they are doing much worse than what would be a normal farmed bird type of survival rate. So I'm up at about 31% of loss of flock, which is really bad. That wave that hit last week was just awful. I can't keep saying that enough. Another question was just in terms of, kind of what's next, like what are you going to do? I will say I'm starting to reevaluate the whole moving the birds on pasture every day process. I'm worried that their safety isn't great. I noticed that they also are absolutely terrified of me, and I think it's got something to do with me picking up their house and moving it on a daily basis. They really don't like that. They always freak out when I move. So I think that that's a big part of it. So what I'm going to be doing is there's a 3-sided lean-to that we have out back at the back of the barn, kind of near the permaculture orchard, but not actually in the orchard, that I'm going to convert into a duck house in the very near future. And probably start the project actually this weekend. And so once that's complete, I'll move them in there. I'll still be able to move fencing around so that they can at least reach out to parts of the orchard. but I think the vision that I had of moving them through the orchard is just not going to work out. I guess the net takeaway I'd want for you guys from this video is really that we're doing so much better. I had a friend the other day ask me if I regretted doing this, and I absolutely don't. I have small regrets about doing one thing differently or another thing differently with the ducks specifically, but in terms of just the heartbreak and the experience that we've had in the last week, even though it's been awful and it's absolutely sucked, I'm glad that we're doing it. I'm still absolutely all in on farming. I do want to say thank you to everybody. All the support and thoughts and sympathy that's been expressed over the last week or two as we've been dealing with this. It makes me feel really great to know that there's people out there who care about us and who really are pulling for us. And so I just want to say to all of you who've been kind of saying such nice stuff on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or wherever, thank you. It's really starting to feel like there's like this little community of people kind of following us on our journey, and that's kind of cool, and we really, really appreciate it. That's basically the update. We'll be back with more stuff on Monday. Be sure to subscribe. We'll keep you up to date on where things are going with the farm. There's a lot of things happening with the ducks. There's a lot of things happening with the trees. There's a lot of things happening with a couple of other things that we've got planned here. And all in all, we're just having a lot of fun as we try to start this farm here in Vermont.